Hey everyone, Krista here, and if you're heading to Universal Studios Florida at Universal Orlando Resort, I'm going to go through absolutely everything within the park, from attractions, restaurants, shops, and more, as well as a few details and Easter eggs that you may have missed on your last visit. Plus, you'll want to make sure to stick around to the end to get a few tips and tricks to get the most out of your day. So let's get started. Universal Studios Florida is one of 3 theme parks that currently make up Universal Orlando Resort. The parks include Universal Studios Florida, Volcano Bay, their water park, and Universal Islands of Adventure. Universal is also in the midst of building a brand new theme park that we are very excited about called Universal's Epic Universe, which is expected to open in the summer of 2025. Universal Studios Florida is where you become the star and step onto the set of your favorite TV shows and movies. There are 9 themed areas that make up the park: Minions Land on Illuminations Avenue, Production Central, New York, San Francisco, London and Diagon Alley, World Expo, Springfield USA, Hollywood, as well as a brand new area that is currently being built in the old Woody Woodpecker play area that Universal just confirmed would be based off of DreamWorks animation. When you first walk into the park, the very first area that you'll encounter is guest services, lost and found, as well as wheelchair and stroller rentals that are located over here. Also right in front of the park is Studio Suites, where you'll be able to find plenty of treats that include everything from handmade treats, candy apples, homemade fudge, gourmet cookies, as well as a wall of self-served candy. And while I was there, I could not help but pick up this incredible Jaws fishbowl, which is a chocolate cake layered in delicious buttercream served in a fishbowl and topped with a Jaws gummy. If you walk through the very back of Studio Suites, you'll walk straight into the Universal Studios store. And if you're looking for anything in particular, this is where you'll be able to find the widest assortment of all things Universal, from character-inspired apparel, toys, mugs, hats, backpacks, gifts, and more. Once you exit the Universal Studios store, you'll encounter our very first land, which is the brand new Minions Land on Illuminations Avenue. This brand new area just opened up in 2023, and this is where you can join your favorite supervillains and blast your way to supervillain stardom with the help of the Minions. Once you're ready, you'll head to your very first adventure, which is Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. Here is where you can train to become a minion and join Gru and the rest of the gang. The outside of the attraction is themed as Gru's home, where you'll enter and learn everything you need to know about minion training. While you're in the queue, you'll tour Gru's living room and laboratory. Then strap on some minion goggles and board this motion ride simulator to see if your minion training has paid off while you try to stay alive and not ruin Agnes's adoption anniversary gift for Gru. Oh yeah, and be aware of fart guns. Once you exit Despicable Me, you'll walk straight into one of my favorite stores, Super Silly Stuff, where you'll be able to stock up on all of your favorite Minion gear, toys, and Gru-approved gadgets, including everything from fart guns to fluffy unicorns. If you're looking for the most exclusive Despicable Me merch, this is the place to go. Just across the street from Super Silly Stuff is one of the brand new attractions in Universal Studios, Illuminations Villain Con Minion Blast. At the time of filming, Minion Blast had just opened up for technical rehearsal and was not allowing any filming on the ride. But here is where you'll be able to attend Villain Con, the world's largest convention for villains. Here, the most infamous supervillain group, the Vicious Six, have set up a challenge to find their newest member. So grab your blaster, jump on a moving walkway, and shoot your way to supervillain stardom and see if you have what it takes to join the likes of Bell Bottom, Jean-Claude, as well as the rest of the Vicious Six. When you exit the Villain Con Minion Blast, you'll enter the Evil Stuff gift shop. Here is where you can pick up some Minion and Villain Con themed souvenirs like bags, cups, as well as blasters, toys, apparel, and more. If you need a sweet treat after your admission, then just behind Villain Con Minion Blast is the brand new Bake My Day shop, which you may remember from Despicable Me 2. This shop not only has a wide assortment of Minion-themed treats, cupcakes, macaroons, and cookies, but also a collection of super sweet Minion souvenirs and apparel that include keychains, cups, backpacks, and so much more. While you're here, make sure to look up to find a fun surprise. There's also a new meet and greet location here at Illuminations Theater that's located just behind Bake My Day. Here is where you can meet some of your favorite characters from both Despicable Me and Sing. Characters that you can meet here include the Minions, Gru, Agnes, Margot, and Edith from Despicable Me, as well as Rosita, Johnny, and Gunter from Sing. Just past Bake My Day is Freeze Ray Pops, which is a walk-up window where you can grab a popsicle, a cold beverage, and some other icy cool refreshments, which is a perfect way to cool down on a hot day. Near the end of the avenue is the brand new Minions Cafe, where the Minions are hard at work whipping up various delicious treats and dishes, as long as they don't destroy the entire cafe in the meantime. The Minion Cafe is a cross between a table service and quick service restaurant. It is open seating, so after you find your table, you'll scan the code, place your order from your phone, add in your table number, and the food will be delivered directly to your table. And the food here is so good. It's not your typical theme park restaurant menu. There's a lot of banana-themed items as well as items based off of the characters in all of the Minion movies. The main entrees are called Despicables, like Agnes's honeymoon soup, which is a tomato soup made to look like Agnes's concoction from Despicable Me 3, complete with a tomato in the shape of a gummy bear. There's also Lucy's Top Secret Salmon, which has all of the colors of Lucy's outfit, including a sweet and sour sauce pipette to represent her lipstick taser, as well as Otto's Noodle Bowl, where the noodles come in a bowl shaped like Otto. There's also a couple of delicious handheld items like Uncle Drew's belly-filling pork sandwich, and the steak and cheese ray sandwich, which also comes with a cheese ray pipette. They also had 2 specialty beverages to wash it all down with, like the PX41 Punch, which is a lemonade with flavors of strawberry and kiwi, as well as the Antidote, which tastes like a banana cream pie. And you can't leave without trying one of these cute desserts, which includes the fluffy unicorn cupcake, Bob's Teddy Bear Chocolate Cream Puff, Otto's Pet Rock, and my personal favorite was the Minion Swiss Roll that is served with a passion fruit banana. Everything here was top notch, and it's definitely one restaurant you'll want to try while you're here. While you're here, make sure to take a moment and walk all throughout the restaurant. There are 3 different rooms that are featured here. The kitchen, where you can find several of the Minions already causing some mayhem. The Minion break room, complete with foosball tables, lockers, a vending machine that of course serves bananas, as well as these hilarious motivational posters. And last but not least is the dining room that features Minion artwork and a ton of other little Easter eggs that you can find all throughout the rest of the restaurant. I really loved all the little details and the googly eyes everywhere. It made this restaurant just so much fun to eat in. In addition to the Minion Cafe, there's a few other dining locations that include Pop Banana, which features a couple of Minion popcorn buckets and offers banana-flavored popcorn, which has a very subtle hint of banana and is very much like banana-flavored kettle corn. I couldn't help but get mine in this adorable Bob popcorn bucket, especially since he's always been my favorite Minion. Once you're done causing mayhem along the streets of Illuminations Avenue, you'll make your way into our next area, which is Production Central. And Production Central is what sets the stage for your movie-making adventure. The first thing that you'll encounter in Production Central is Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. This is no ordinary coaster. On this ride, you'll become the star of your very own music video. After you strap in, you'll pick a song from the playlist to rock out to during the ride. This coaster features 90-degree angle incline straight up to the top of a 17-story tall, 167-foot hill where you'll get a really great view of Universal Studios. Then you'll drop and soar into a loop that creates the illusion of you going upside down, but you actually never do. This coaster tops out at 65 miles an hour and has a track length of 3,839 feet and goes through several maneuvers that are named after something in the music industry, including the treble clef, which is a part of the track shaped like the famous music symbol. The crowd surfer, which is an overbanked turn directly above the line queue. And the drop tuning, which is an underground chasm, just to name a few. And just in case you didn't know, there's also a secret menu of songs that you can select for Rip Ride Rocket. What you do is hold down the Rip Ride Rocket logo on the top of the screen for 10 seconds, and you'll get a screen where you'll be able to plug in the number for your favorite song on the secret menu list. You can find the not-so-secret song list shared with a quick Google search if you want to check them out before you go. On this ride, not only is your photo taken, but you'll also get a chance to purchase a personalized music video of your experience. Right next to Rip Ride Rocket is Universal Music Plaza, which during special events like Mardi Gras, you'll be able to catch special musical live performances throughout the event. The last attraction in Production Central is Transformers: The Ride 3D. On this ride, the battle between the Autobots and Decepticons has come to Earth, and you have been recruited by the Non-Biological Extraterrestrial Species Treaty, aka NEST, to help defend mankind. When you enter the queue, you'll be entering into the NEST headquarters, where you'll get a debriefing from the leader of the Autobots himself, Optimus Prime. In the queue, you'll also see some Transformer artifacts and weaponry, as well as the Allspark fragment that you've been tasked to protect. Then you'll board your NEST vehicle and join Optimus Prime and Bumblebee on this ultra-immersive ride where you'll fight to keep the Allspark out of Megatron's hand during the explosive battle between the Autobots and the Decepticons. After you return, if you want to bring home a piece of the adventure with you, then you'll want to head over to the Supply Vault where you'll be able to declare your allegiance with the official Transformers action figures, apparel, hats, magnets, and more. If you want the ultimate souvenir, then you'll want to head over to one of the coolest meet and greets in the park, where you'll get your chance to capture a moment with Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, or Megatron. This is a must-try experience as you'll be in awe of these huge and detailed characters.
Welcome, recruits. Your tour is about to begin.
Once you finish with the Transformers, you'll enter into our next area, which is New York, where you'll step into a production-ready backlot made to look like the Big Apple, complete with New York-style pizza, Gramercy Park, street shows, and more. The first attraction that you'll come across in New York is Race Through New York starring Jimmy Fallon. As you enter the queue, you'll walk through the hallways of the iconic NBC studios. The downstairs lobby pays tribute to previous The Tonight Show host from over the years, with displays of sets, props, and memorabilia from each era. If you head upstairs, you might be able to catch the Ragtime Gals Barbershop Quartet, or you may see #ThePanda as he shows off his moves. There's also some interactive games here while you wait. You'll then be escorted into Studio 6B to see Jimmy Fallon himself. Then you'll board your unique flying theater and speed through the busy streets of Midtown Manhattan, soar through skyscrapers, and even dive into the East River as you race Jimmy towards the finish line. If you want a souvenir from your race, you'll want to head over to the Tonight Shop, where you'll be able to pick up themed mugs, apparel, gifts, and more, including some of your favorite characters like #the Panda. Speaking of #the Panda, you can sometimes catch him waving to the crowd in this window high above the streets. Just outside of Jimmy Fallon is Gramercy Park, which is a nice rest area that has a number of benches available if you do need to take a break for a moment throughout your day. Also, in the very center of Gramercy Park is a designated smoking area if you're looking for one of those while you're here. You can also find a couple of snack kiosks here, including 57 Fare, which offers New York-sized pizza slices, calzones, and even a mini apple streusel mousse. There's also Avenue Eats, which offers authentic Mexican food like empanadas, arepas, and flan.
All right, everybody, places and action!
Just around the corner from Jimmy Fallon is where you'll find Marilyn and the Diamond Bellas. During this live performance, you'll find Marilyn with a couple of her backup dancers perform a few of your favorite songs. This show happens a few times throughout the day, so you'll want to make sure to check the Universal app for showtimes.
It's just a rehearsal.
Just a short walk down from where Marilyn performs is where you'll find the Revenge of the Mummy. Here is where Revenge of the Mummy is currently being filmed inside a real Egyptian tomb, and you're invited to tour the set. The outside of the building is themed as the Museum of Antiquities, and you'll even see some noble guards on stilts watching over the attraction. When you enter the queue, you'll find yourself on set surrounded by props and set pieces. As you make your way further deeper into the tomb, you'll find some interactive experiences where you can have some fun while you wait in line. As you climb the stairs to the second floor, you'll see a giant statue of Anubis hanging from the ceiling before you board a mine train that will take you directly inside the mummy's tomb. This ride is a combination of an indoor coaster and a dark ride with fire and fog effects. You'll rush forward and backward on a track as you try to flee the evil mummy Imhotep. And just as you thought you've escaped, you'll get plunged back into the pitch dark abyss. Once you finally escape the mummy, you'll be released into Sahara Traders, where you'll be able to explore a unique burial tomb complete with mummies, skeletons, statues, and discover a bazaar of treasures that feature mummy-themed apparel, toys, jewelry, gifts, and more. After you leave Sahara Traders, if you head down the small side street next to Gramercy Park, you'll come across the Park Plaza Holiday Shop, where you can experience Christmas all year round that features holiday-themed gifts, souvenirs, and ornaments that are inspired by the wizarding world of Harry Potter, The Simpsons, Despicable Me, and more. You can also get your ornaments personalized here too. If you have any film fans in the family, then you'll want to take a short walk over to Film Vault, which is a small shop where you can find merch from fan favorite classic movies like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, E.T., Gremlins, and Jaws. While you're in the area, just down the street is where you'll find a couple of fun performances. First is Sing It, a fun a cappella performance where the singers will battle one another through several rounds of pop songs. It's a really fun performance and happens a couple of times throughout the day.
Coming through, folks. Now, Blues Brothers, Rhythm and Blues Review.
Also here is where you'll find the Blues Brothers show, where you'll be able to listen to the soulful sounds from the Pharaohs of Funk, the Blues Brothers. Jake and Elwood wearing their trademark black suits, pork pie hats, and black shades take the stage in the New York area every single day, a few times throughout the day, and you won't want to miss it. If you head across the street, you'll come across Finnegan's Bar and Grill. Finnegan's is one of 2 sit-down table service restaurants in the park, and in this traditional Irish-American pub, you'll find both a lively bar and a full-service restaurant that features authentic Irish dishes like bangers and mash, shepherd's pie, fish and chips, and Guinness beef stew, in addition to classic burgers, salads, and more. Be sure to stop here on St. Paddy's Day because they offer green pints of beer. If you're just looking for a snack while you're in New York, then you'll want to head over to Auntie Anne's Pretzels, located right here next to the Blues Brothers stage, where you'll be able to sink your teeth into their famous freshly baked warm pretzels and beverages. Just next door to Auntie Anne's is Haagen-Dazs, where you'll be able to indulge in their famous ice cream flavors, bars, sorbets, and more. Just next to Haagen-Dazs is Starbucks, where you can grab a cup of their famous coffee for a morning caffeine boost, but you can also pick up a sandwich, pastry, or snack. Located in between Auntie Anne's and Haagen-Dazs is a quiet area called Sting Alley. Not many people explore the area back here, so it's a perfect place to get away from the crowds and enjoy some peace and quiet for a bit. Sting Alley was made to look like an authentic New York alley, and it's a great spot for some photos and videos. If you're looking for another place to escape the heat, then you'll want to head across the street to the Palace Theater Arcade, where you'll be able to try your hand at some classic arcade games like air hockey, pinball, or racing simulators. You can also access this arcade through the Sahara Traders gift shop. If you walk past the arcade, you'll see another small alley where you can test your climbing skills. For a fee, you can climb up the side of the wall themed to look like the side of a city building. Right next to the wall climb is Rosie's Irish Shop. Here is where you can celebrate St. Paddy's Day all year long and honor your Irish heritage. You'll find tons of fun shirts, souvenirs with family crests, and other Irish-themed gear. Also in this area is where you can find Vamos, which is a high-energy Latin dance party located here in the middle of the street. Performers will do some choreographed dance numbers and invite the crowd to join in, so make sure to join the fun and show off your dance moves. Across the street from Rosie's is where you'll find Louie's Italian Restaurant, where you'll be able to find New York Italian favorites like pizza, pasta, meatball subs, and salads. While you're here, don't miss finishing off your meal with a scoop of creamy gelato and Italian ice. Just outside of Louie's Italian Restaurant, a few times throughout the day is where you'll be able to find the Beat Builders. The Beat Builders feature 4 construction workers who will stop working on the latest improvement projects for Universal to put on a percussion show. The crew uses buckets, scaffolding, and everything in between to create their music. When you're done jamming along to the Beat Builders, you'll enter into our next area, which is San Francisco. San Francisco is themed to resemble the iconic City on the Bay, including Fisherman's Wharf and the iconic Clock Tower in Ghirardelli Square. You'll also be able to enjoy some delicious seafood that tastes like it's fresh from the docks. The first attraction that you'll come across on the left is Fast and Furious Supercharged. Fast and Furious is a high-octane journey into the underground racing world. You'll start by entering this unassuming warehouse and walk through Dom's garage, where you'll see some awesome muscle cars that were used in the movie franchise. Then you'll meet Pat and Jamie, who will let you know that the party buses are ready. On this ride, you'll enter custom party buses and roll out when Owen Shaw shows up uninvited to crash the party.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
You'll then exit Fast and Furious Supercharged into the Custom Gear gift shop. Here is where you can create custom miniature car models, including selecting a chassis, fender, hood, and frame. You can also find car decals, novelty plates, and become part of the family with some Fast and Furious gear. Across the street from Fast and Furious is Richter's Burger Company. This quick service burger shop offers earthquake-themed menu items like the Big One, the Aftershock Burger, the Richter Scale, or cool down with a Frisco Shake. Be sure to explore both floors to find San Francisco-themed memorabilia, disaster-themed props, and there's also freestyle Coca-Cola machines here to fill your souvenir cups, but you can always get water for free. On the corner next to Richter's is the San Francisco Candy Factory. Here is where you can find Universal-themed treats and snacks. In this colorful store, you can find freshly made fudge, caramel apples, cookies, and a wall of candies. You can also find some fun Jaws merch here as well. Just next to the candy factory, on the wooden docks of the Fisherman's Wharf, is a small watering hole called Chez Alcatraz. Here is where you can get drinks and appetizers to enjoy right next to the water. While you're here, make sure to snap a photo next to this massive great white shark hanging right next door. This shark is a replica of the monster shark from the movie Jaws and is a nod to the former ride that used to be here in this area but was removed to make way for Harry Potter's Diagon Alley. Just down the street and along the waterfront is where you'll find the second full-service restaurant here in the park, Lombard's Seafood Grill. This restaurant is Universal Studios' flagship restaurant. Here you'll find delicious fine dining seafood in a nautical atmosphere. Menu items include everything from lobster rolls, clam chowder, and all kinds of fish, as well as some land options like the filet mignon and wharf burger. While you're here, make sure to check out the huge saltwater aquarium that's the centerpiece of the dining room. Right next to Lombard's is the San Francisco Pastry Company. This is a quick service cafe that offers breakfast sandwiches, soups, salads, pastries, coffee, and other to-go items. Across from the pastry shop is Amazing Pictures, and for an extra fee, you can become a celebrity and step in front of a blue screen to put yourself into the movies to create your very own custom souvenir. After getting your photo souvenir, the next land that you'll enter is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. After the resounding success of Hogsmeade next door and Islands of Adventure, Diagon Alley opened its doors 4 years later in July 2014 and raised the bar to become one of the most immersive theme park areas in the world. Diagon Alley takes everything that was awesome from Hogsmeade and improves upon it in every way. And like Hogsmeade, there are whimsical secrets to find in every corner of this area. When you first walk into the area, you'll actually start by entering into central London, with a number of famous British landmarks along the waterfront. The first landmark that you'll see on the left is King's Cross Station. This station is themed to resemble the authentic King's Cross Station in London, where you can cross into the solid brick wall between platforms 9 and 10, where the famous platform 9 3/4 is located, to board the Hogwarts Express. This steam train acts as both a transportation and a ride experience, and it travels between King's Cross Station here in Universal Studios and Hogsmeade Village next door in Islands of Adventure. Since this train does take you outside of the Universal Studios park, you will need a park-to-park ticket in order to ride this attraction. And this is not an ordinary train ride. Once you board, you will take a seat in a cabin and enjoy a 2-minute ride through the British countryside as characters and creatures from the films will make an appearance. Make sure to ride this train in both directions as the experience is different each way. And once you pass King's Cross, you'll see an iconic red London phone booth on the left, where if you dial the Ministry of Magic using the number on the dial, you'll get a special message. On the other side of the walkway, you'll pass by a souvenir stand where muggles can purchase a selection of London and night bus themed apparel, souvenirs, and more. Once you pass the stand on the London waterfront, you'll come across the Eros Fountain modeled after the one in London's Piccadilly Circus, as well as a huge triple-decker purple bus, who my fellow Harry Potter fans will recognize as the night bus that appeared in The Prisoner of Azkaban. But before you leave, make sure that you stop and have a chat with the bus conductor, as well as the talking shrunken head.
My hair is really bad. Look at this hair. Look, my hair is dreadful. You see all your hair? Look at you over there. You get your braids done. Look at that. You got the leg, brother. You got the leg, brother. Put some braids in that hair there. That's what it is.
You can also peer in the windows to see curtains, beds, and an ornate chandelier. Just across from the night bus is a row of London homes where you'll find number 12 Grimwald Place. And if you're feeling brave, knock on the door and keep a watch outside. You may just catch sight of the familiar face of Creature the house elf peeking out the window. Also in this area is where you'll find the London Taxi Hut, where you can grab traditional English snacks like shepherd's pie, loaded jacket potatoes, as well as hot dogs and crisps. Once you're finished exploring London, you'll enter Diagon Alley through the secret passageway. The first thing that will catch your eye is the giant dragon that sits atop Gringotts Wizarding Bank. This dragon breathes fire every 10 minutes on the dot. And if it doesn't, it's likely asleep and you'll probably want to just check back later. The Diagon Alley area is comprised of 4 areas: Diagon Alley, Carkit Market, Horizont Alley, and Nocturne Alley. The first shops that you'll see as you enter on the right is Quality Quidditch Supplies and Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. Quality Quidditch Supplies is where you can get all of your Quidditch-related gear and memorabilia, including brooms, golden snitches, bludgers, quaffles, and attire to show off your team spirit. And Weasley's Wizard Wheezes is a novelty joke shop run by the prankster Weasley twins, Fred and George. You won't miss this shop with its giant moving statue with arms poking through the windows. In this shop, you can find all sorts of toys, treats, and novelties, including skiving snack boxes, you-know-poo pills, nosebleed nougats, fainting fancies, fever fudge, and more. Make sure to look up at the top of the shop to find whimsical characters moving overhead, as well as a fireworks show through the skylights. Just across the way is where you'll find the Leaky Cauldron. And this quick service restaurant serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and is the main restaurant for Diagon Alley, themed as the famous pub and inn that Harry and his friends frequently visited. You'll find towering cathedral ceilings, wooden beams, and a massive dining hall. The Leaky Cauldron offers traditional English fares such as fish and chips, bangers and mash, and beef, lamb, and Guinness stew served in a bread bowl. You can also get a cup of the famous butterbeer here. If you don't already know what butterbeer is a drink that was referenced throughout all of the Harry Potter books, and you can find it at Universal in 7 different forms. The flavor is similar to butterscotch or cream soda and has a frothy top. Butterbeer is non-alcoholic but is very addictive. You can find it hot, cold, or my favorite way, especially on a hot sunny day, is frozen. But you can also find it in ice cream, fudge, potted cream, as well as vegan throughout Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, and it's definitely a must-try for any Harry Potter fan. After the Leaky Cauldron, you'll see an ominous dark alleyway called Nocturne Alley. This alleyway acts as kind of a walkthrough attraction. If you're fans of the dark arts, then you'll definitely want to check this out. The alleyway is also a great spot to escape the heat since it's hidden away from the sun. The ceiling within Nocturne Alley has projections of the starry sky to make it appear like you're outdoors despite it being inside. And within Nocturne Alley, you'll find all sorts of Easter eggs and nods to the films. Also in this area is where you'll find Borgin & Burke's. This dark and creepy shop is home to all things dark arts, including Death Eater masks, skulls, accessories, cursed jewelry, and other nefarious items. You'll exit Nocturne Alley in the far corner, where you'll enter Horizon Alley, right next door to the Fountain of Fair Fortune. Modeled after a traditional British pub, here is where you can get a variety of beers including Dragon Scale, Wizard's Brew, as well as non-alcoholic beverages like Gilly Water, Pumpkin Juice, and Butterbeer. At this location, you can get your butterbeer hot, cold, or frozen. After enjoying a refreshing pint, you'll come across the Magical Menagerie across the walkway. In this whimsical pet store, you can find magical creatures of all sorts, including Crookshanks, Fang, Buckbeak, Fluffy, and Scabbers. There's also Cornish pixies, ferrets, pygmy puffs, and a variety of owls, including Pigwidgeon and Hedwig. If you go along the back alleyway and peek inside the store window, you'll find a snake and hear him speak in Parseltongue. Right next door to the Magical Menagerie is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. You'll begin your journey by entering Gringotts Bank, located beneath the massive fire-breathing dragon. Then you'll enter the lobby where you'll be in awe of all of the detail and grandeur. And hanging from the ceiling is 4 gigantic crystal chandeliers that will take your breath away. Then you'll see all of the goblins hard at work as you eventually arrive at Bill Weasley's office, where Blordock takes you on a tour beneath the bank to see the vaults. You'll then take the lift to the caverns below. While you're here, be sure to look up at the giant security trolls looming overhead. Once underground, you'll grab a pair of safety goggles and make your way to the cart station. Once aboard your cart, you'll venture deep into the bowels of Gringotts, where things will go awry. This ride is a combination of roller coaster with 360-degree themed sets and 3D projection systems, and is a must-ride for all fans of Harry Potter. Once you make your escape from Gringotts, then you'll want to make sure to celebrate by grabbing a delicious cone of ice cream. And just across the way is the perfect spot at Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor. Here is where muggles and wizards of all ages can enjoy soft-serve ice cream with flavors that include butterbeer, chocolate chili, Granny Smith, Earl Grey and lavender, salted caramel blondie, and more. And by the way, if you're finding this information helpful, I would love it if you could hit that like button and subscribe if you would love to find more amazing adventures like this in my beautiful state of Florida. I release a new video every week, and the best way to be able to see them is by subscribing. Just past Florian Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor, down Diagon Alley, are 2 more fun shops to explore: Madame Malkin's Robes of All Occasions and Shutter Button's Photography Studio. The first one that you'll come across is Madame Malkin's Robes for All Occasions, where you can add to your wizarding wardrobe at this fun clothing shop. In here, you'll find uniforms, scarves, sweaters, robes, ties, hats, and more. And you can also find authentic replicas of Hermione's Yule Ball gown. While you're here, be sure to pose in front of this magical talking mirror, who may just make some comments on your outfit.
Yeah, you look amazing.
Right next door is Shutter Button's Photography Studio, where you'll be guided through 12 scenes from several iconic locations for a photo souvenir to take home with you. Or you can get a moving portrait just like the one in the book and movies for an extra fee. Directly across the street is where you'll find the famous Ollivander's Wand Shop. And just like the Ollivanders in Hogsmeade, this shop offers both show and a shopping experience with over 50 different interactive wands to choose from.
Accio ladder.
Accio ladder.
Definitely not.
The wands come with a map and all of the interactive wand locations for both Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley. There are over 16 locations in Diagon Alley and 9 interactive wand locations located in Hogsmeade. Just look for the medallion on the ground and it will point the way to where you need to cast the spell. There are also a couple of wand locations that are not marked on the map, so if you know where they are, let me know down in the comments below. There are also wand locations located within Nocturne Alley, so make sure to explore the area and check your map under the black lights of Nocturne Alley for some fun surprises. With your brand new wand in hand, you'll make your way further down Horizon Alley, and the next shop that you'll come across is Eternal's Elixir of Refreshment. At this small beverage kiosk, you'll find a variety of elixirs when combined with gilly water will transform before your eyes into colorful and flavorful beverages. Unfortunately, at the time of filming, the shop was still temporarily closed, so if it's still closed during your visit, you can purchase the elixirs at the Hopping Pot and Fountain of Fair Fortune. Just across the alleyway and next to Gringotts Bank is where you'll find a golden statue of the famous Gringott himself. And right next door is Wiseacre's Wizard Equipment. Here is where you'll find a variety of wizarding wares and supplies, including house theme apparel, toys, collectibles, as well as Ministry of Magic themed merch. Next door to Wiseacre's Wizard Equipment is Scribulus, and here is where you can stock up on feather quill pens, ink, parchment, postcards, and other stationery equipment and writing supplies. Continuing past Scribulus is where you'll find Gringotts Money Exchange, and in this shop you can exchange your Muggle US currency for Gringotts banknotes in $10 or $20 denominations. This can be used for purchases within Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade and select other locations throughout Universal. Unused wizard money can be exchanged back at guest services. While you're here, be sure to chat with the Gringotts Goblin and see if he'll answer back.
Did you have a question?
Are you a house elf?
No.
Walking further into Horizon Alley, you'll next come across Globus Mundi. This shop is the official travel agency of the Wizarding World, and here's where you can pick up everything for your next magical trip, including travel-themed souvenirs like passport holders, luggage tags, as well as other Globus Mundi branded items like t-shirts, mugs, and more. Just past Globus Mundi is a stage where you can find a couple of different shows throughout the day. The Tales of Beetle the Bard is a stage show presented by the Wizarding Academy of Dramatic Arts. You'll see these puppeteers use props and puppets to retell 2 famous tales of Beetle the Bard, who is a famous author of wizarding fairy tales. The stories told in the show include The Fountain of Fair Fortune and The Tale of the Three Brothers. The other show that you can catch on the stage is Celestina Warbeck and the Banshees. During this magical show, you can hear Celestina and her Banshees as they perform some of their hits, including A Cauldron Full of Hot Strong Love, You Stole My Cauldron But You Can't Have My Heart, and You Charmed the Heart Right Out of Me. Also, if you're here during the holiday season, you'll get to hear a few Christmas tunes with a wizarding twist. Be sure to check the app for show times for both of these shows. After enjoying the shows, you'll enter into the Carkit Market area of Diagon Alley. And the first place that you'll see is the hopping pot. And the hopping pot is a walk-up counter where you can cool off with a variety of drinks including butterbeer, pumpkin juice, dragon scale beers, and more. And this is a great spot to grab a drink or snack before enjoying one of the stage shows. Right next to the hopping pot is the owl post. This is where you used to be able to get your gifts professionally wrapped and shipped within the US. Unfortunately, at the time of filming, the owl post has been closed, and I'm not quite sure if they'll be reopening it in the future. Also in Carkit Market is where you'll find Sugar Plum's Sweet Shop, and in the shop you can stock up on sweets and treats of all kinds including chocolate frogs, Birdie Bots, every flavor beans, sugar quills, exploding bonbons, cauldron cakes, and more. Once you've loaded up on all of the sweets, you'll want to head across the alleyway to Wands by Grigorovich. Grigorovich is a longtime rival of Ollivander's, and here he has a small store set up within Carkit Market. And this is a really great spot to look for wands if the popular Ollivander's is just a little too crowded for you. Both Grigorovich and Ollivander's offers the same wands, so don't feel like you're missing out if you shop at either one. When you're done exploring all that Diagon Alley has to offer, then you'll enter into our next land, which is the World Expo. The World Expo area has gone through many changes over the years, and today it only consists of one single ride, Men in Black Alien Attack. The two towers that rise above the World Expo are replicas of the towers that were built for the 1964 World's Fair in Queens, New York. And as you may remember them from the original Men in Black movie in 1997, when it turned out that they were actually spacecrafts. When you enter into this World's Fair attraction, your tour will quickly be diverted as you become the newest recruit for the Men in Black. You'll descend into the secret headquarters and you'll see several aliens along the way throughout the queue. Then you'll board your training vehicle that has an attached laser blaster as you try to shoot as many aliens as you can. On this ride, you'll encounter over 120 different kinds of aliens that were created specifically for this ride. As you blast the aliens, you'll rack up points and increase your score.
Crisis mode engaged. Deploying subatomic thermal disruptor in 3, 2, 1.
When you're done saving the galaxy, you'll exit into the Men in Black gift shop. Here is where you can get Men in Black and alien-themed gear and merchandise, including merch featuring the adorable Frank the Pug. Right next to the Men in Black is the Coca-Cola Refresh Shop, where you can refill your fresh style cups or you can always fill up with water for free. After passing the World Expo, the next area that you'll come across is Springfield, USA, home of The Simpsons. In this land, you'll feel like you just stepped into the world of The Simpsons. You'll be able to find Easter eggs and characters of the classic TV show all throughout this area. The first attraction that you'll see as you enter this is the Simpsons ride, and the entrance to the attraction is themed to look like you just walked into Krusty Land. You'll enter into the queue by walking through Krusty's giant mouth and board a motion simulator ride as you join the Simpsons on this zany theme park adventure in Krusty Land. After your Krusty Land adventure, if you're feeling a little lucky, then you can try your hand at the many carnival-style games in this area to try and see if you can win a variety of prizes. Games including the Sledge Homer, Dunk-a-Flunk, Whack-a-Rat, Mr. Burns' Radioactive Rings, and many more. Directly across from the Simpsons ride is Kang and Kodo's Twirl and Hurl. This ride is a classic aerial carousel ride where the humans are captured by aliens and are forced to attack other Earthlings by controlling your flight path and activating the targets as you fly by. Between the Twirl and Hurl and Fast Food Boulevard is a meet and greet area where you can meet some of your favorite Springfield residents. Some characters that you can meet here include the entire Simpsons family, as well as Krusty the Clown and Sideshow Bob. On the corner of Fast Food Boulevard and Evergreen Terrace is where you can find the Quickie Mart. On the outside, you'll find Millhouse hanging out, enjoying a Buzz Cola where you can get a photo. You can also see Nelson over here by the payphone. And if you answer the phone, you may hear a surprise on the other end. Inside the Quickie Mart, you'll find Simpson-themed merch that every fan will love, including apparel, mugs, toys, and of course, these giant pink donuts fresh from Lard Lad Donuts. Next to the Quickie Mart is Fast Food Boulevard, which is a collection of 6 quick service shops with unique items made famous from the TV show. At Cletus's Chicken Shack, Cletus takes all of the best parts of the chicken and serves them up hillbilly style. Krusty Burger has a variety of burgers and hot dogs, including the famous Rib Witch. Lisa's Tea House of Horrors offers healthy options that even Lisa Simpson herself would approve of. At the Frying Dutchman is where you can find delicious seafood. Luigi's Pizza is Springfield's finest Italian eatery. And finally, Flaming Moe's is where you can get a variety of beverages, including the Flaming Moe, which is a bubbly, citrusy, non-alcoholic concoction made with dry ice for a flaming effect and is really cool. Right next door to Fast Food Boulevard is where you can step into Moe's Tavern and enjoy a Duff beer with the local barfly, Barney. If you don't want to step inside, you can always walk across the way to Duff Brewery. At this outdoor bar and beer garden, you'll see a statue of Duff Man and the topiaries of the 7 Duffs as they greet you outside. At the bar, you're going to watch a 30-minute loop of The Simpsons clips while you relax. And right next to Duff Man is a small kiosk where you can buy Duff-themed merchandise and souvenirs. After quenching your thirst with Duff beer, you'll find Chief Wiggum and his cop car parked in front of the famous Lard Lad donut shop. Here is also where you can channel your inner Homer Simpson and enjoy a world-famous delicious pink donut. In addition to donuts, you can also get ice cream here, including the famous brain-freezing donut sundae. Parked next to Lard Lad's is Bumblebee Man's taco truck. At this food truck, you can grab some tacos including carne asada, chicken, or Korean beef with a side of Buzz Cola. After you finish exploring Springfield, the next land that you'll encounter is Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone. Woody Woodpecker's Kids Zone is geared towards the younger kids, but also has some rides and shows that will delight guests of all ages. This area is currently in the midst of being reimagined, so expect a lot of construction here. In January 2023, Fievel's Playland, Curious George Goes to Town, and the Woody Woodpecker Nut House Coaster all closed permanently to make way for a new land that Universal just confirmed would be based off of DreamWorks Animation. Despite the construction, there's still a few fun rides, shows, and shops to see. When you first walk into the area, the first thing that you'll find on the right-hand side is a couple of familiar vehicles. The iconic DeLorean and the steam train from the classic Back to the Future movies can be found here for photo ops. So be sure to explore these and keep an eye out because you may also see Doc Brown make an appearance. After traveling back in time, you'll come across one of my favorite shows in the park, Animal Actors on Location. In this outdoor stage show, you'll get to see some incredible animal movie stars and other trainers as they show you some tricks and training techniques. This show is really fun and something that guests of all ages can enjoy. Across from Animal Actors on Location is where you can find everyone's favorite talking yellow sponge, SpongeBob. Here at SpongeBob SquarePants, you can step inside a replica of SpongeBob's pineapple house, see Gary the snail, and walk underneath the jellyfish to find SpongeBob-themed toys, plushies, and souvenirs. Also here is a dedicated meet and greet spot where you can encounter SpongeBob, Patrick, and even Squidward. Right next to SpongeBob SquarePants is the Kids Zone Pizza Company. At this quick service counter, you can grab a slice of pizza, get a milkshake, or grab some fries. This stand is famously known for their fan-favorite pizza fries during Halloween Horror Nights, so make sure to check those out. If you follow the construction walls towards the back, you can still find the classic E.T. adventure. When you enter, you'll give your name to one of the team members and walk through a dark and spooky forest. Then you'll board your flying bike and take off with E.T. riding in the front of the basket. You'll dodge bad guys and soar to E.T.'s home planet filled with otherworldly creatures. And at the end, E.T. will thank you personally before arriving back home. After exiting, you'll walk through a small gift shop called E.T.'s Toy Closet and Photo Op. Here is where you can get E.T. themed toys, merchandise, and souvenirs. Also, for an additional charge, there's a unique photo spot here where you can pose on a bike in front of the green screen to make it appear like you're flying, and also pose with E.T. in the toy closet. Once you're done hanging out with E.T., you'll enter into our final land, which is Hollywood. The Hollywood area is themed as the iconic entertainment capital of the world, and you'll see classic Hollywood landmarks here, including Schwab's Drugstore and Mel's Drive-In. When you walk into this area, you'll first come across a very popular stand on the right-hand side called Central Park Crepes. Here is where you can grab some very tasty sweet or savory crepes. These are very delicious and are a great snack. And yes, even though this is a Hollywood section, Central Park can also be found right here next to the water. And if you're looking for another quiet spot to get away from the crowds, this is a really great area to head into. This is also the viewing area for the Lagoon Show, which has been permanently closed this year. Universal is currently working on a new nighttime show for Universal Studios, but has not officially announced anything at the time of this video. Across from Central Park is Cafe La Bamba. This quick service shop is used for the VIP tours for breakfast, but they do open to the public for lunch later in the day. As you walk down the streets of Hollywood, the entire area is a character zone and hosts a variety of meet and greets throughout the day. Here, you can meet everyone from The Simpsons family, Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, Marilyn Monroe, Betty Boop, Dora the Explorer, Hello Kitty, Trolls, Beetlejuice, King Julian, the Madagascar Penguins, and more. So make sure to check the app for showtimes and keep an eye out for your favorite characters. On the right-hand side of the street is where you'll find the popular Mel's Drive-In. Mel's Drive-In is a quick-service retro burger restaurant inspired by the iconic 1973 film American Graffiti. You'll be transported to the 1950s as you see classic cars parked out front and a jukebox at every table. Mel's Drive-In offers a classic diner menu of burgers, sandwiches, and milkshakes. And while you're at Mel's Drive-In, you'll want to keep an eye out for the Mel's Drive-In dancers, who can be found doing this really fun performance a few times throughout the day. We weren't able to find showtimes for this, but we were able to catch this show just as Mel's Drive-In was opening for the day, so it's a really fun opening performance for the restaurant. Across from Mel's Drive-In is Universal Orlando's Horror Makeup Show. Before the show, make sure to explore the lobby area where you'll be able to see a collection of authentic props and makeup effects from some classic Universal horror movies. Then, when the show begins, you'll watch as makeup and special effects artists show how to craft some creepy characters and feature some live interactive demonstrations. this show combines comedy with creepy chills during this fascinating look into the movie-making process. Just down the street from the horror makeup show on the right-hand side is where you'll find the new location of the Tribute Store. This store is incredibly popular and its theme changes seasonally. This shop has several themed rooms to walk through and is usually decked out as an attraction itself. At the time of filming, the store was themed to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. During the celebration, you'll see amazing looking dinos and props from the classic movie. During the Halloween season, this store transforms into a Halloween Horror Nights shop. But make sure to catch this Tribute Store seasonally as it changes for Halloween, Christmas, and Mardi Gras. In addition to the awesome theming, you can also find tons of great souvenirs, merchandise, and collectibles that you can only find in the store. Next to the Tribute Store is Schwab's Pharmacy. And Schwab's Pharmacy is a quick-service retro soda shop modeled after the real Schwab's Pharmacy. And here you can get a scoop of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, as well as banana splits, hot fudge sundaes, waffle cones, milkshakes, and malts. Across the way from Schwab's Pharmacy is our next attraction, the Bourne Stuntacular. During this live show, you'll follow Jason Bourne through several continents as he tries to outrun the sinister characters trying to bring him in. This stunt show combines live acrobatics, practical effects, and incredible set pieces, as well as a huge LED screen. I was really impressed with how the live performers and the LED screens were integrated together, and I definitely think it's a must-see attraction whether you're a fan of the Bourne movies or not. When you exit the Bourne Stuntacular show, you'll enter into the Five and Dime store. This shop serves as a gift shop for the Bourne Stuntacular, as well as a classic Universal monster shop. You'll find all sorts of Bourne Identity themed gear and souvenirs, including some spy toys like a recon watch, spy eyes and ears, invisible ink pens, voice disguisers, and more. On the monster side of the store, you'll see souvenirs and collectibles, as well as giant statues themed after the classic monsters like the creature from the Black Lagoon, Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, the Mummy, and Dracula. Directly across from the Bourne Stuntacular is the Brown Derby Hat Shop. In the shop that's shaped like a giant brown derby hat, you can find fun hats as well as apparel, toys, and more. Right next to the Brown Derby Hat Shop is the Hello Kitty store, and here's where you can step through the rainbow archway to find toys, souvenirs, and collectibles of this popular global icon. There's even a Hello Kitty at the movies merchandise line where you can find the adorable Hello Kitty placed in the middle of some classic films like Jaws, E.T., Back to the Future, and King Kong. You might even get a chance to meet Kitty White herself during certain times throughout the day. Near the very front of the park is where you'll find the Today Cafe. And this quick service restaurant is themed after NBC's long-running morning show. Here you can enjoy baked goods, sandwiches, salads, coffees, and be sure to check out Al Roker's seasonal selections. Next, you'll come across On Location. This corner store hosts hats, glasses, sun care products, as well as the My Universal Photo Photographers, which is a pickup location for all of the attractions and photo spots that you can find throughout the park. And last but not least, Universal just added a brand new food stand just across from Today Cafe and right at the entrance of Minion Land. This cart offers a lot of great breakfast items like breakfast empanadas, as well as snack options like the Everything Pretzel. And before you head back to your car at the end of the day, you'll get one last chance to pick up some souvenirs at It's a Wrap, where you can pick up last-minute apparel, toys, as well as other souvenirs before you leave the park. If you are heading to Universal Studios for the day, here are a few things to know. Universal Studios is a pretty big park, so you'll definitely want to allocate an entire day or more to explore each one of the different areas within the park. On select days, if you are staying at any of the Universal resorts or hold a Premier or Preferred Universal Annual Pass, you'll want to make sure that you utilize early entry into the park to knock out a couple of the most popular attractions before the crowds make it in for the day. My favorite attraction to use the early entry on at Universal Studios is Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts ride, but there are several attractions that are available to you in that hour. If you do want to make sure that you squeeze in all of the attractions in one day, then you'll want to make sure that you get the Express Pass. There are a couple of tiers, one that allows you to skip the regular line one time, and another one that allows you to skip the line an unlimited amount of times. You can purchase your Express Pass online or at the park on the day of your visit. Speaking of purchasing online, I highly recommend purchasing your day ticket online before you get to the park. This will expedite your park visit, especially since they sometimes don't have a lot of ticket booths open, and it will be one less line that you have to wait in before entering the park. Once you do make it to the park entrance, if this is your very first visit to Universal Studios, you want to make sure that you have your ID with you and ready to show, as they will do a visual check of your ticket and ID as you enter the park. If you are visiting Universal Studios during the summer, or actually any time during the year, you'll want to bring a refillable water bottle with you. We love taking our Yeti with us every time that we go, and the great thing about Universal is that you're able to refill your water bottle with cool water at any of the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines as you make your way throughout the park. If you forget your water bottle, you can always purchase a refillable souvenir cup that you can find at several locations throughout Universal. In addition to the refillable souvenir cup, there's also refillable popcorn buckets where you can get a great discount for refills. It's a great way to save money if you do have family members that just love to snack throughout the day. Also, while you're here at Universal, don't skip out on the shows. There are several amazing shows throughout Universal Studios, from high production shows like Bourne Identity and the smaller pop-up shows like the Blues Brothers. They are really fun and a great excuse to take a break for a moment, especially if any of them are inside so that you could get a break from the sun. And as you're making your way through the rides during the day, if it's not too busy, ask an attendant for a behind-the-scenes tour. These free tours last about 10 to 20 minutes and will get you up close to some of your favorite attractions. Just remember that team members are only able to do this during the downtime, and tours are not guaranteed. So make sure that the wait time is 10 minutes or less, and remember that the team member can say no at any time. And last but not least, I asked you what your best tips were for visiting Universal, and you guys did not disappoint. Here are a few viewer-suggested tips that you should keep in mind. First is from DKingston9946 on YouTube. Their number one tip is to get there right at open and go straight to Escape to Gringotts, or just the Harry Potter area in general. It's best to explore it right at open because it gets so packed throughout the day, and I could not agree more. You want to be able to get to the Harry Potter section right as the park opens, because the later in the day it gets, the more and more packed that the area gets. So if you want to enjoy the Harry Potter section a little less crowded, make sure to get there as soon as the park opens. They continue in saying that they noticed that the dragon breathes fire every 10 minutes on the Thames. And this is true. If you want to be able to capture an epic shot of you with the dragon breathing fire, you want to plan that for every 10 minutes right on the dot. And on Instagram, my friends, the two Gulf Coasters, said always bring a poncho and use a fanny pack or no bag if you can. And this is a great tip, especially if you're visiting during the summer between May and September. This is our rainy season here in Orlando, so you can expect a shower almost every afternoon. But don't worry, they only tend to last for a short period of time, so don't let the rain forecast ruin your day. And last but not least, from my wonderful in-laws, who also have a YouTube channel, by the way, called Retired and Loving It, and they said to expect to spend a lot more money than you anticipated, and this is so very true. I know I always spend a lot more money than I originally planned when heading to any of the parks, so you'll want to allocate for that, especially if you're visiting on a budget. If you've made it this far in the video, I would love to hear from you on Instagram at Krista Travels, where I release daily content on the videos that I'm currently working on for this channel. If you are spending even more time at Universal and haven't already watched my video on Islands of Adventure, then I'll plug that video up on the screen right now. In it, I'm gonna go over everything there is to see at Universal's other theme park, Islands of Adventure, just like this one, from shops, restaurants, and attractions, so you don't miss a thing while you're there. Until next time, everyone, I hope you have an amazing day and go out and enjoy some Florida sunshine.